From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, May 18th, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.72 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,262 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 2.1 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $1,826. Antiwar.com reports while publicly, U.S. strategy in the Afghan war has been based around the conceit that the conflict is in a stalemate despite mounting losses by the Afghan government, advisors have offered a classified assessment on the conflict recently, however conceding that the Ghani government survival is at risk and that the war is being slowly lost. Their solution, as with everything else, is even bigger escalation, with reports from those familiar with the plan saying that the U.S. needs more than 50,000 ground troops in Afghanistan to ensure Ghani's survival, with an eye toward eventually defeating the Taliban. That's a big escalation and a much bigger one than has been suggested in previous reports, which initially presented the proposed escalation as between 3,000 and 5,000, and most recently made it a choice between 3,000 and keeping troop levels flat. The Pentagon is evasive about troop levels in recent months, but around 8,400 troops are believed presently to be in Afghanistan, so 50,000 would be a massive escalation, resembling the one President Obama tried when he took office, and for mostly the same reason, that they think it might conceivably turn a long struggling war around. That it did not lead to victory last time appears to be totally ignored in the latest assessment. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports former U.S. Senator Joe Lieberman, who endorsed Hillary Clinton in the 2016 presidential campaign, met with President Donald Trump on Wednesday as one of 4 potential candidates to become the next FBI director. According to White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, Trump also talked to Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating, acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe, and former top FBI official Richard McFeely. The interviews came more than a week after Trump fired FBI Director James Comey. Lieberman, who was Al Gore's running mate in the 2000 presidential election, has no experience as an FBI agent or as a federal judge or prosecutor, unlike past FBI directors. The Democrat turned independent was Connecticut's Attorney General before being elected to the U.S. Senate in 1988. Lieberman told the Hartford Courant he was secretly considered for jobs under former President George W. Bush while he was serving in the Senate. Trump said he would make a fast decision on replacing Comey, possibly before he leaves on Friday for Saudi Arabia, the start of his first overseas trip since taking office on January 20th. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports Republican and Democratic senators on Wednesday renewed their drive to make banking easier for cannabis-based businesses in those states where it is legal, undeterred by signals from the Trump administration about maintaining tough cannabis restrictions nationwide. The 8 senators, who span the political spectrum from Republican Rand Paul to Democrat Cory Booker, introduced the bill to block federal banking regulators from somehow pushing a financial institution to stop serving a state-sanctioned cannabis business or the business's landlord or lawyer. The government would also not be allowed to give banks incentives to cut off the businesses. While cannabis is legal for medicinal or recreational use in 44 states, the federal government still considers it an illegal and highly dangerous drug. Under former President Barack Obama, regulators gave banks guidance on working with cannabis-related businesses and staying within the law. But the guidance intimidated most financial institutions, and they cut ties with the sector, saying compliance with extensive requirements was too expensive and did not assure them that they would not be prosecuted in the future. The current situation leads dispensaries to either deal all in cash or hide their business's true nature from banks, creating public safety and legal risk. The unlikely collection of senators sponsoring Wednesday's bill have attempted to get similar legislation approved before and gained wider support with each try. That could help the legislation pass the closely divided Senate. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.